This book, Using Technology with Classroom Instructions That Works, is really good.
No wonder why I always see my teacher reading it. This book is great. Who's the author? It's Robert Marzano. Wow, you should be famous.
The majority of classrooms will have that technology, and teaching will have to look very, very different. And I think, the potential is dramatic in terms of how much better job we can do, than we do right now.
Do you know what chapters the first grade teachers have to read? Yeah, it's chapter 10 and 11.
Every chapter will basically, take a certain perspective and say, okay, given this perspective, here's how education is going to change or should change in order to meet the demands of, the next century, the next millennium. So it's a pretty exciting book.
I'm in first grade.
I'm in first grade too.
Who are the first grade teachers anyway?
Miss Haley, Miss Weintraub, Miss Tiggis, and Miss Rogers. And Miss Mensing too. Yeah, she teaches first grade. I'm in first grade.
Me too. Chapter 10 is called Homework and Practice.
Sometimes I do my homework by using technology on the computer.
I got an iPad 2 for my birthday. I used my iPad to do my homework. I've done homework on my computer, and one of my favorite things to using homework is the 10s and 1s.
Some of my favorites are PBS Kids, Piggy Bank, Raz Kids, and Kerpoo.
I like playing games on my iPad.
So do I.
Chapter 10 is all about using technology for homework.
I use my PV Learner's account to do my homework all the time. I create presentations and I share documents and emails with my teacher for my homework. When I do my homework on the computer, it seems like a lot of fun.
One time I did my homework on the iPad and it was awesome. I use my computer to study online and do my homework.
Wow, they give us some great websites, but the links are so long. They should have used TinyURL or Bitly to make the website's URL smaller.
I think the potential impact on a school or district, first of all, communicates a message to everybody in the school or district that we're serious about good teaching. That all starts with a common language of instruction, and it can't be a narrow language of instruction. It has to be robust enough to encompass the complexity of the teaching learning process. So for us, a language of instruction is the first place to start. Of course, that's where technology comes in. Good teaching, which translates into more advanced learning on the part of students, and that's the core of what occurs in the school or district. Now for me, that's a professional place, it really is. And without that, you can't really say it's a professional place if teachers close their door, they do their thing, they do good things, but they're never interacting with any other professional about this very complex thing called teaching.
Chapter 11, Generating and Testing Hypotheses. It has some really great stuff. Stay tuned for more.
One of the reasons people don't try challenging goals is because there's always failure built in.
Sometimes you make mistakes on a computer, but that's okay. You learn from your mistakes.
would rather fail miserably trying something new than maintain the status quo.
It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes.
Sometimes I make mistakes on the computer, but I always learn from them.
There are 6 tasks that a teacher can use to generate and test hypotheses.
In the systems analysis, we study the parts of a system, such as the ecosystem, and make predictions about what would change if one or more parts, such as a certain species of animal, were altered or removed. Number 2. When students like me problem solve, we look for lots of different ways to solve the problem. Number 3. In a historical investigation, we like to take guesses about historical events that don't really have an answer.
Number 4, students involved in invention examine a need, then work to create a solution to the need.
Number 5, experimental inquiry often happens naturally when students, like me, observe a phenomenon, make an informed hypothesis about why or how that event happened, and set up an experiment to test our prediction.
Last but not least, number 6. When we are part of making decisions, we get to define criteria and figure out which is most important. Then, we get to decide which choice makes the most sense.
How do we now redefine teaching, using the technology, those technologies? Because it's different. I've written books on instruction, and I realize that 10 years from now, any book I've written on instruction is not going to be very useful, because it doesn't address how to do, something with technology, interactive whiteboards, individual student computers. So that's a whole big area here. It just changes things, and sometimes it changes things dramatically. So I think it's not like we're going to throw out everything we know. I think what we've learned about teaching without technology will be the basis now to say, and how do we teach better with technology?
Hey, how come you're not reading this book? It's really good.
I am reading this book. I'm just using a Kindle app on the iPad.
I'm a 20th century teacher.
And I'm a teacher from the 21st century.
Oh, you mean like using jetpacks and lasers and you teach robots, things like that?
No, the kids are now pretty much the same as they were in your day. It's just the way we teach has changed. We're able to use technology to our advantage.
Technology, yes, we teach that. We've got a whole computer lab with 7 BBC micros.
Really? We integrate computers in every classroom and use ICT throughout the curriculum.
Oh, even history? Can't see how computers could be used to teach the Tudors. No, I'll stick to my trusty textbooks, thank you very much. Right, class, sit down, shut up, turn to chapter 4.
Or how about use computers, search the web, prepare a multimedia presentation?
Multimedia. Here's multimedia for you. Textbook, blackboard, me talking.